Today we're breaking down new details about the opening scene of Avengers Doomsday. According to the latest information, this sequence alone could go down as one of the most ambitious opening moments in the entire history of superhero movies. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe collides with the X-Men universe as a result of an incursion. Insider My Time to Shine Hello shared details that perfectly line up with earlier rumors. This time, the focus is on Tobey Maguire and possibly Dr. Octopus, who end up clashing with the X-Men. Here's what she said. Avengers Doomsday isn't just the most epic Avengers movie, it might be the most epic movie ever made. According to her, even the opening scene alone outclasses everything we've seen in previous Avengers films, while the final battle is described as pure insanity. Hey everyone, this is Lord of Leaks. Subscribe, drop a like, and let's get started. Opening scene of Doomsday reportedly features a massive battle where Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man goes head-to-head with the X-Men. And the central opponent in this fight is Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. Logan, claws instead of hands. Wolverine. Up until recently, the conversation revolved only around a Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus duo. The assumption was that they were facing the X-Men as a group, without specific matchups. Now, however, it's being clarified that the scene includes the exact mutants shown in the trailer: Cyclops, Professor X, Magneto, and Wolverine portrayed by Hugh Jackman. This strongly suggests that the movie could feature two Wolverines at the same time, both played by Hugh Jackman. Even more interestingly, it opens the door to one of them potentially dying. After all, having two Wolverines on screen simultaneously already sounds wild. Because of this, fans online are now arguing about who would actually win this fight. Some are convinced Tobey's Spider-Man would take Wolverine down without much trouble, while others argue Spider-Man wouldn't stand a chance. So what do you think? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. Personally, we believe that by the end of this scene, the X-Men ultimately overpower Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Alfred Molina's character. Or at the very least, they succeed in keeping their own Earth safe, while Tobey's alternate universe ends up being destroyed. If you're hyped about Dr. Doom, then I've found some awesome collectible figures for you on Amazon, as well as original comics, so you can better understand what kind of Doom we're gonna get in Robert Downey Jr.'s version. I highly recommend picking them up. Links are in the description. That lines up perfectly with earlier reports, claiming that Tobey's world is doomed. Because of this decision, the X-Men may come across as antagonists, but in reality, this is a classic comic book move. Sacrifice one reality to save another. In the original comics, this is one of the very few ways to preserve your own universe, which makes this outcome feel completely logical. There are also reports from other insiders suggesting that the movie opens with an incursion between two realities, the X-Men universe and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man world, known as Earth 96283. The X-Men don't arrive as aggressors, and they're not there to start a war. They show up because their reality detects an extremely dangerous anomaly. Most likely, they have ways to sense something like this, whether through telepathy or Magneto himself, who can pick up on shifts in magnetic fields. If another Earth is truly approaching, it would create a massive magnetic disturbance that he realistically could notice. And we also can't forget about Hank. He's incredibly smart and almost certainly has technology capable of tracking anomalies of this scale. It's also worth remembering the post-credit scene of Captain Marvel 2, where Monica Rambeau ends up in their universe and hears the line, "I believe you somehow slipped through a rupture in the space-time continuum, and now you exist in a reality parallel to your own." An incident like that could easily push Beast to start developing new devices designed to locate alternate worlds in order to bring Monica back. And it's during that exact research process that he could discover Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe. From the mutants' perspective, Tobey's world becomes a direct threat to their survival. They reach the conclusion that this reality must be stopped, otherwise they'll die themselves. But for Peter Parker, the situation looks completely different. In his New York, unknown and overwhelmingly powerful beings suddenly appear out of nowhere. Spider-Man reacts the only way he knows how. He protects his city. To him, this looks like an invasion, and that reaction is entirely reasonable. If another Earth suddenly appeared along with a team of superpowered individuals, anyone would see it as a lethal danger. As far as we know, in his universe, he's basically on his own. Maybe Dr. Octopus is with him if earlier leaks are accurate, but either way, it's one hero against an entire X-Men team, so it's not surprising that he ultimately loses. According to insiders, Spider-Man jumps into the fight almost immediately, with Dr. Octopus backing him up. Things escalate dramatically the moment Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman, steps into the conflict. According to rumors, he's the one who throws the first punch without waiting for explanations, and from that point on, it turns into a full-scale battle. There's also information suggesting that the TVA managed to intervene and save Spider-Man. They bring him into the ranks of the multiversal Avengers. Easy. At the same time, many insiders have begun claiming that Marvel is considering splitting Avengers Secret Wars into two parts. This doesn't mean a final decision has been made, but the fact that it's even being discussed speaks volumes. And honestly, we completely understand Marvel's reasoning. If you factor in everything we've heard about Doomsday, including a rumored runtime of around 3 hours or even longer, then Avengers Secret Wars simply can't be smaller in scope. If anything, it has to be even bigger and longer, which makes a two-part structure feel totally justified. According to Insider Majestic, the roadmap looks like this: Avengers Doomsday as Part 1, Avengers Battle World as Part 2, Avengers Secret Wars as Part 3. Doomsday is basically the apocalypse for the entire multiverse, the day when everything is on the verge of being wiped out. But at the same time, it's also Dr. Doom's victory lap, because that's when he takes control of the multiverse and creates Battle World. That's the moment he becomes God Emperor Doom. And the potential of Battle World is absolutely massive. You can do almost anything with that setting. Battle World will be split between the people who still remember the old reality and the people whose memories have been wiped. Based on the comics and the leaks we've already heard, once Doom builds his own world on top of the multiverse's ruins, most of its citizens won't even remember what existed before. But the ones who end up outside of Battle World, maybe in lifeboats, maybe in the quantum realm, will keep their memories and will know the truth about Doom. They're the ones who have to wake everyone else up, restore their memories, and slowly pull people over to their side. Part 3, Secret Wars, becomes the point where the heroes remember their past lives and finally unite to take Doom down. In Doomsday, they already lose to him. The audience will be shown just how terrifyingly powerful he really is, and by the time Secret Wars rolls around, he'll already have followers, armies, and absolute authority. This story is about one question: how do you even beat someone who has literally become a god? If you asked me a few years ago whether we'd ever see an X-Men crossover with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, I would have said, no way, what crossover? That's impossible. That kind of thing only happened in 90s cartoons, where Spider-Man crossed over with Wolverine and the X-Men across a few episodes. But here, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man will be fighting each other because of an incursion, because one universe has to survive. That's an insanely high level of fan service. How do you feel about fan service at that level? Maybe it's killing cinema, but from what I'm seeing on social media, most people are loving it. Quick reminder, you can become a channel sponsor for cool perks or support me with crypto. I'd really appreciate it. I'd be grateful for your like and your subscription. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you. A new video is already on the way. See ya!